Who remembers the BJ and Bill show all those years ago on WOLZ? Well, many have said they missed the show, and guess what? They're back. Welcome to the BJ and Bill podcast.
Welcome to BJ and Bill, the podcast, a part of the Podcast Playground Network. We ask you to subscribe, review. Come on, give us that 5-star review. We will so much appreciate it right there when you subscribe on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get this podcast and all your favorites. As we welcome you to episode 95, and we welcome Bill Stevens from the Blue Ridge Mountains in a cabin in a location undisclosed.
That is correct. It's top secret. Top secret.
What can this mean that you're in an undisclosed cabin?
Well, it's of course, it's our friend Vicky and her husband Rick Wagner at their cabin in exciting, beautiful, wonderful, but still warm Blue Ridge, Georgia. And so yours truly, because they're going on vacation, so yours truly gets the job of dog and cabin sitting for about a week. It's awesome.
For a week or
me and
longer,
Max the Wonder Dog.
Didn't you say they were going to California?
Yeah, that plans have changed. So it's going to be a little shorter trip than expected. So it's okay.
Oh, okay.
Which is fine. It's fine. Whatever. So yeah, no worries. So yes, I arrived. I drove yesterday, and more stories about that coming soon. But I drove all day yesterday. I mean, it's not a bad drive from Gainesville here, about 6 or 7 hours. Not bad.
Oh, that's not bad.
You do have to go through Atlanta. What's that?
Oh, well, then I was going to say that's not bad at all. But then you said you had to go through Atlanta. I'll bet you could get there without going through Atlanta.
You can go around on what is that, 275 or whatever that, whatever the big, all the big cities have those ring highways that go around the outside. You can do it, but it's almost not worth the effort because you come in at the very bottom of Atlanta at the airport, I-75 right there, and you're leaving at the very top. So if you went around, you'd be going way around the outside and then way back. So it's almost not worth it to just grin and bear it and say, all right, there's going to be some traffic. And of course, I mean, I was through downtown probably 2:30, 3 o'clock, but there's always traffic. So
I have a suggestion.
I'm listening.
The way to go, what I would do if I was you, I don't know the exact name of the roads, but one time when we went up to the mountains and we went like up through Cherokee to go to the mountains, I went up through Macon, where you got to turn off that little, kind of thoroughway that gets you, you're really kind of staying on 75, but it kind of takes you off 75 for a little bit. It's kind of like a little bypass.
Again, it's another one of those. Yeah, I think that one's called 475 around Macon. Yes.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Go all the way up through Macon.
Wow.
And then somewhere around Macon, there are parts of it it's a little 2-lane road. I'm say that it's not all 4-lane roads, but it's a nice, beautiful, relaxing drive without worrying about seeing any of Atlanta.
And obviously it wouldn't save time, or the maps apps would recommend it, but how much more time is it going to add to the drive? Have you done it? Do you know?
Yeah, done it a couple times.
And how much does it add to the drive?
Maybe an hour.
An hour. Oh, if you'd have said a half hour, you might have.
It might be a half hour.
An hour.
But it's,
all right. I'll look.
But you're going to a different location.
Yes.
So, because you have to go up through Atlanta, and then you have to kind of veer over to the east, right?
Yes, a little bit.
See?
Yes.
See,
I'm bringing up my map on my iPad here.
You're going to have to go through. You're going to have to go through a little bit of country anyway, aren't you?
Well, when you get through the big city, when you get through Atlanta and you get up to 275 on the north side, then you're still on. I think it's 5. I think. Now, see, you're going to make me look at my map here again. So yeah, you're up. It's 575, which is basically like another 70 hours. So yes, you are leaving Atlanta on the north. It's funny because you're kind of leaving Atlanta sort of on the northwest corner. If you drew the circle around Atlanta, you're leaving at about 11 o'clock. And then it goes up through a couple of really nice little suburbs like Woodstock and Canton and stuff like that. And then it turns into Route 5, and then it goes north, and then you go all the way the heck up there. I mean, it's 4-lane the whole way. So I don't know. It might be worth a try. Who knows? I'll let you know. Usually I'm just in a hurry to get there, and I'm just like, all right, just give me the fastest route. I don't care, whatever it is.
I will explain. Well, I'll explain my route, and then we'll get into your little excursion, because
yes.
But now when I go to, because I'm planning on this,
right?
I live a little bit outside of Claremont.
Yes.
I'm going to go up Highway 27 to Claremont to 50 to go to St. Augustine.
Okay.
I'm going to take 50 all the way across instead of going down to I-4, which is a road that I would rather not get on. This will take me probably another, 45 minutes, maybe half hour, 45 minutes, maybe even an hour, depending on traffic.
But avoids the I-4 traffic. Yeah.
But I'll avoid I-4, and I won't pull my hair out, and I won't cuss halfway there. So to me, it is all well worth it.
I understand. I do. I've seen some great Twitter posts about the highways in Florida, and I-4 is always described as something out of Mad Max. It's like, just people running each other off the road and flamethrowers and stuff
that. So, and if my wife says, no, I don't want to do that, that takes us too long. And it's going through that, because there are parts of 50 that's just 2-lane too.
Right.
As you go across to I-95.
Right.
Then I will say these magic words and it'll all be over.
I hear it coming. Go ahead.
Well, if you would like to drive, I'll be glad to ride.
How's that work for you?
It's usually I end up going the route I want to go.
Good for you.
I give
That's
options.
Awesome. You do. Although they're ones that nobody wants. So you get your way anyway. That's awesome. Well, good. So anyway, yes, here I am, Blue Ridge, and all of that. And we're actually, should we tell the folks that we're actually recording this on a different day? So things might be a little...
We might have to, if we talk about something that I don't want to talk about. Let's just get into that. Let's get that out of the way. Let's just see how things progress. And then if we must talk about what I don't want to talk about, and you give me no other option,
I always,
let me go another route.
Yes, you can drive. You're driving this show. It's always you driving anyway. So that's fine. Yes.
I'm going to go 50, by the way. And if you want to go the other route, you can drive.
There you go. So, all right. So, yes, drove yesterday. And it actually, I did the little Google mapping, and Warner Robbins, the Buc-ee's at Warner Robbins is almost perfectly halfway from my place in Gainesville to here in Blue Ridge. It's wonderful. So about 3.5 hours. And I left yesterday morning about 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning out of Gainesville, got on the highway, cruised my way up. Absolutely no issues at all to Warner Robbins, pulled in right around lunchtime. It was amazing. And, used one of their 120 different gas pumps and filled up with gas, and then went inside and fought the crowds and found myself a chopped brisket sandwich, a bag of Beaver Nuggets, and a large soda. Yes.
It doesn't get any better than that.
It does not get any better than that. It's several things caught my attention, obviously. I'm still amazed. I mean, here's a stupid thing, but it's true. And wherever you go to these fancy gas stations, highway truck stops, or whatever, the gigantic, ginormous, super clean and beautiful restrooms, there's still a line around the block for the ladies' restroom. I'm like, how many ladies are going to the bathroom here?
First of all, let me tell you should be using the men's room, Bill.
I did. I did. I followed the guys. Thank you. See, I didn't even think of that, you rat bastard. You. I didn't even think of that.
This line's too long. Oh, look at the men's. I'll go over there.
I'll use that one. Yeah. So I did, and it was awesome and wonderful. But I'm like, if you're Buc-ee's, if you're, and I don't know this, so I might be if I'm Buc-ee's or if I'm one of these other truck stops that's building these world's cleanest restrooms, I think I'm going to have to make the ladies' room like 3 times as big just to accommodate whatever. Or maybe I was there at a busy time. I don't know. Of course, to say that I was at Buc-ee's and it's not a busy time is ridiculous. It's always busy. So I don't know.
Yeah, but you go to a sporting event, which is mostly men at a sporting event. You know, some take their wives. Right. Some take their girlfriends. Some girls actually go to watch the boys play their game.
Mm-hmm.
But you always look at those restrooms, and the lines are much shorter than those lines, especially if you go like during halftime or between periods, whatever sport we're talking about.
I don't understand it, and it just blows my mind.
I understand it.
Well, of course. I mean, I know the mechanics of going to the bathroom for a man versus a woman. Thank you very much.
So see, there's other mechanics involved.
There are.
I think they got to be put up on a lift or something, and
yeah.
And of course, they need to make the teepee toilet, the teepee toilet, where you take your toilet paper and you make a big kind of
teepee, a liner, a cover,
teepee
or whatever.
over the setting hole.
I guess.
We don't need no sitting hole.
No,
we'll stand and get the job done.
All right, how we got off on this? I admit, I'm sorry, folks. I apologize. It's my fault. I brought up the bathroom issue. I apologize for that immensely. Let's go back to the fun stuff. Had the brisket sandwich. It was every bit as good as advertised. I'm only sorry that I couldn't have taken 3 or 4 more with me. They're not cheap. I mean, it's not. Of course, nowadays fast food has gotten ridiculously expensive anyway. So $8.50 for a sandwich at Buc-ee's. Okay, I'll pay it. I don't care.
Brisket.
It's brisket. It's fresh. It's yummy. It's good.
Yeah.
Awesome. So it was more than good. It was awesome. Yeah.
That's not a bad price at all.
I don't think so. And then, of course, along with that, and they stacked them by the pallet full at the checkout counter, the little bag of Beaver Nuggets, Buc-ee's Beaver Nuggets. They're like crack. They're basically like crack, except they taste kind of buttery and sugary and whatever.
So I believe the first time we went there, my wife got the caramel Buc-ee bites.
Beaver Nuggets?
Yeah.
There's caramel ones?
I think so. Just like caramel corn.
Well,
they're kind of caramel anyway.
Yellow. They probably are because
they got some that's got cheddar yellow cheese.
Yeah, no. These were the regular yellow ones. Yeah.
Were they cheddar cheese?
No.
They were yellow?
They were yellow. Now you're going to make me go get the bag, and it's out in my car, and it's a bit of a walk, so I'm not going to do it right now. But I'll get back to you on that. But what you're saying is there's more than one variety, and now I'm going to have to stop and find another bag.
Yeah, because they make cinnamon, they make maple, they make cheddar cheese.
Stop.
They make Buc-ee nuggets and all sorts of nuggets.
Oh man,
it's kind of like their jerky wall. They don't just have one flavored jerky.
Oh, are you kidding? Yeah, I cruised past the wall of jerky, the wall of beef jerky, and it was. It's impressive. I mean, you can't think of a thing. You can't think of a flavor that they haven't already thought of. I mean, you might, but it's like, oh my God. So
now see, that's a must for me.
Oh, okay. I hear you.
I'll grab something off the jerky wall. I'll jerky something off the jerky wall.
Yes.
And I'll get a brisket sandwich.
I should have done that. It would have been way better for my low carb lifestyle.
Oh yeah.
But they were right there. They were right there.
I just want to ask you if you actually, because we had a little text conversation.
Yes.
Because Bill has to send me a picture and
Yes.
bragging about his, brisket sandwich.
Yes, I did send
Holding
you a
his
picture.
nuggets up there so everyone could see his nuggets. And I go, hey, did you check the sugar content? Because he's always saying this keto diet that he's on.
Yes, I am.
I don't think there's a lot of I don't think there's keto Buc-ee nuggets, son.
No. I should have had 2 heart attacks in the last 24 hours. But I'm still here. Thank you, God. Thank you. So
first of all,
yes,
we want to go on record saying we love Buc-ee's. I have nothing whatsoever against Buc-ee's.
Totally.
But I must admit to you, the first time I had the Buc-ee nuggets, and all these things. Oh, I never tasted anything this good. Oh, these are the best things in my life. Oh, by the way, I'm a type 2 diabetic. Let me check the sugar content on these. Flip over the back. Oh, finger down throat.
What? Yes. You have that moment. Yeah, don't read. So enjoy them like everything else in life. Enjoy them in moderation.
How do you enjoy Buc-ee nuggets in moderation? You tell me that.
I have no
idea. How many Buc-ee nuggets did you have in moderation?
Half a bag. Half a bag. Maybe not that much. I don't know. A lot. I had a lot. I'll admit. I was in the car. I was alone. I was unsupervised.
Well, that's like the wife and I. We get in, we eat our sandwiches. We take off down the road. The wife opens them. Here, you want one? Oh, yeah, sure. Oh, me love. Me want
more. Keep them coming. Keep them coming.
More. Keep coming to me. Another hour down the road, got to pull over and get gas or something, or, take a wee break or whatever it is. All of a sudden, let me look at it. Oh, my God.
Look at the ingredients.
I can't believe I didn't have a diabetic coma.
Right there. Right then and there. Absolutely true. So, yeah, I get it. I do. So anyway, just to rewind a tidbit, as we said, we love Buc-ee's. We need them to be a sponsor of this program. We really do. And they make wonderful products, but some of them need to be enjoyed in moderation. That's all we're saying. That's all we're saying. But that's like me and pizza. You put me down in front of a pizza, it's like I'm like a dog. I'm going to eat until I'm so stuffed I can't walk away. So anyway, we all have our crosses to bear in life, and Buc-ee nuggets are my new ones. Crazy.
They are good.
They are good. They are good.
They are so good.
I can't believe how much, and we've talked about this before. Is this a privately owned company? Can I buy stock in this company? Because they have got to be making money, as the proverbial thing says, hand over fist. Because they have 120 gas pumps. They're all full. And you go in the store and they have the checkout lines where they have like 4 cashiers in a row. So they have at times 4. So they have like 16 cashiers going at one time, at least that I could see. And they're all busy all the time. And
they have different doors to go in and out of. So they probably have like 3 or 4 different doors you can go in and out of. And they have, cash out people at each door.
And so again, I'm like, OMG. How? And by the way, when you get to the gas pump, let me bring up that photo. You can't see the photo, but I'll just tell you about it. They had on the gas pump, they had the "We're hiring" sign, of course. And I don't know if you ever bothered to read the "We're hiring" sign.
Look at the prices they pay people.
That's my point. If you want to be the lowest job in the store starts at $18 an hour, the lowest job in the store, and you get $2 an hour additional for overnights. So $20 an hour to be the overnight guy putting sandwiches out on the hot table. And then then if you want a full-time gig, they have openings for assistant general manager paying $125,000 a year. The store's general manager pays $175,000 to $225,000 a year, $250,000 to be a manager of a Buc-ee's. with a 401k, 100% match, 3 weeks paid time off, health care, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, but look at Buc-ee's. It's not like it's not your typical little, shop and go.
Oh no, yeah,
if
it's
you're
not like
manager,
you're working the overnight shift at 7-Eleven.
You're doing some managing.
I understand that. I get that. I mean, now would I do it? No, it's not for me. But $250,000 to be the manager of a Buc-ee's, unbelievable. And I'll bet you they have like it says, it had healthcare, 3 weeks off, 3 weeks paid time off a year, et cetera. I'm like, don't tell me there's no jobs out there.
Well, that's like, though, I wouldn't doubt even too, like Walmart. I wouldn't doubt if you were the GM of a Walmart.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right.
You're going to make at least close to that.
I would assume so too. I would. And yeah. So cool. I mean, you're going to work your butt off, but it would be cool to be like the GM of a, I mean, you're like the captain of the ship, boy. And it's like an aircraft carrier. You're running the whole thing, and that would be cool. But
can you imagine though? Now, I don't know if the general manager does all this or not. Usually they do. Can you imagine doing the product buying? Or do you have your different? You have your different departments doing their own. Well, of course, obviously, though, you are buying everything from one place. Like
that's a lot of times
saying. In a restaurant, you got to buy your food here. You got to buy it.
Right.
This, that.
Food,
probably
booze,
it all comes from one location. And of course, nowadays.
I mean, there's nothing in that store. Right. There's nothing in that store that's not Buc-ee's, right? I mean, like you said, the wall of beef jerky, the T-shirts, the coffee mugs, the everything. So I'm betting that there's a computer program that knows, all right, when we get down to the last 10 giant red coffee mugs.
Oh, no. When we get down to the last 500 giant coffee cups.
Right.
They go through 10.
You're right. I hadn't thought of that.
Like 10 minutes.
Yeah, they probably so there's my point again. Can I buy stock in this company, or is it privately? I'm going to have to look it up. I really am. It just blows my mind how much money they must be making. I hope.
We discovered Buc-ee's maybe 2 or 3 years ago, 4 years ago. I'd like to know what my wife has spent at Buc-ee's. No, I wouldn't want to know.
No. Remember what I said that salary was for that general manager? You've paid that. You've paid for his or her salary.
I would get the same reaction as when I looked at the sugar content. Right. It's the same reaction. Oh my God. So
anyway, hats off to our friends at Buc-ee's. Wherever you are, as you hear this, you need to be sponsoring BJ and Bill the podcast. You do. I mean, we don't need a whole lot of money. You can just send us a brisket sandwich or whatever once in a while. We're good. Yeah. So anyway, that's my story. So there you go.
A lot better than eating at McDonald's.
Oh my God. And yeah, don't even go there. I mean, it's getting insane out there. It's getting insane as with the prices and everything like that. So anyway, that's that. Look at that. We've almost killed a half hour talking about Buc-ee's. So what's new with you there, Grandpa? We're recording this program. We started to say where we were at, but we're also doing it on a different day. We're recording this on the Saturday before the show drops on Wednesday.
Yeah, we're a little early, but I have I get in a car tomorrow and head to Fort Myers.
So you're going to be in Fort Myers for the week, or how long will you be there?
We're going to head back on Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
It's the sun can only take me for so many days in a row.
I got news for you, BJ. All of us can only take you for so many days in a row. Your wife is scheduled to be an immediate saint as soon as it's up to that. It's like in baseball or football, first ballot Hall of Fame.
Her jersey will be retired.
Her jersey will be retired for putting up with you for decades. And it's just amazing. So our hats off to Miss Susan. And yeah, there you go. So it's all good.
But my number one thing to do is see my son.
Yes.
But really and I hope I do it. I could be talking about it now And then time gets away from, because, when you go places, time gets away from you.
Yes, it does.
Especially, when you're with family. And, Susan's brother and sister-in-law live there also. And, my grandkids. And so, we both have friends there. But we're really hoping, at least I am, to make a trip to Sanibel.
There's no T, Sanibel. But
I know. I just wanted to say Sanibel.
I know.
Sanibel.
I'm still correcting you 30 years later. I'm still correcting you.
It's
Apologies.
Sanibel.
Sanibel. So just to see what it looks like after the storm, or what's your plan there, or what you thinking?
It's really weird. I've looked at two different websites. One says that the bubble room is open. Another one says it hasn't. So I don't know. Well, I'm thinking, I might take a, run out to the bubble room, see if they're open. If they are, I might try to go out there for lunch.
Right.
And then I might, go by the Sanibel Light Tower and see if they put on a fourth leg yet or not.
Right. And remember, after the storm, the bubble room, I don't know who thought of it, but it was genius. It was pure genius on the bubble room's part. That, of course, they're super famous for dessert, for their cakes and stuff like that. The red velvet cake. You can't go to the bubble room and not have the red velvet cake. So they started selling them in town, in Fort Myers. They kept their kitchen going, or wherever they make them, because they didn't make them at the bubble room location. So they probably had a kitchen over in Fort Myers somewhere. So they started selling them by the slice and by the whole cake right after the storm to keep some money coming in. And to me, that was genius. I mean, that was just a genius move as well. Now, having said that, let me tell you that if I go to Google, I'm holding up my iPad, you can't see it, but I go to my Google Maps, and Bubble Room Restaurant on Google Maps says temporarily closed. Now, let me go to the website and see www.bubbleroomrestaurant.com. The Bubble Room remains closed for repairs and will reopen at an undetermined later date, but rest assured we will be reopening. Boops by the Bubble Room is open on Captiva every day. I don't know what Boops is, but it must be a little cantina or a little something.
Maybe
Boops
that's
by the Bubble Room.
Now, if you're familiar, some of our listeners may not be,
right.
They might not be Southwest Floridians, or they may not go there, or they don't know about the world famous Bubble Room. It did have like the restaurant, and then across the parking lot, because I know the last couple times we were there, the wife had to go in. They have their own little gift shop now that's like beside the Bubble Room, across from the parking.
So to finish that, yes, and they have that too. So Boops by the Bubble Room is open on Captiva. I don't know where. Every day from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., we are still serving our famous Bubble Room cakes and breakfast sandwiches, ice cream, coffee, and pastries. The Bubble Room Emporium gift shop is also open on Captiva daily, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Please check our Facebook page for updates, blah, blah, blah. We love you. Thank you for your continued support. So there you go. So I've not heard of Boops by the Bubble Room, but I guess they opened a second little location just to sell more cakes and goodies like that. So good for them. Good for them. So you still going to go, or what are you going to do?
I don't know. That was my number one goal, was to go and see if they were open. But, I'd still like to, maybe I won't go all the way out to, South Seas Captiva.
Right.
Maybe I'll just go like to the, a little ways on the island and go to the, the tower and see how it is.
Did you know, were you friends with my friends, the Tuttles of Sanibel, the gift shop?
I know her basically through broadcasting.
Yes.
But never, I don't think I might have maybe once a month. I mean, as long as I lived there, I probably once walked into one of their stores. But before
there was BJ and Bill on Oldies 95, there was Bill and Paul Conrad. Boy, there's a name that takes you back.
As far as I know, he's still on Wave too.
As far as, we need to get him on the show. There was Bill and Paul Conrad doing mornings on WRCC Cape Coral, and Pauline Tuttle was our midday person.
Yeah.
She came in right after our show. So good friends with them and her husband, Bob Tuttle. Hats off to you, Mr. Bob, who's been running that shop for good God, got to be 50 years. And it's just awesomeness. And it's back open. So good for them. Anyway, tell the boss I said hi.
All right.
And all of that. So maybe not the bubble room this time, maybe next time. Who knows?
I can't wait. We used to go out there. Well, when my brother was alive, he would come down every year.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of like a tradition. We would go with them. And usually either my wife's or, usually we would make sure that we went, the two of us, like either her birthday, my birthday, or anniversary. One of those three, we'd always go out and say, let's celebrate it at the bubble room.
That is a great place to celebrate.
If you don't know anything about the bubble room, it is just it was the coolest place. And I went down when they reopened it. They had so much memorabilia on the walls. They had the little twinkle bubbly lights, like the Christmas lights that you had back when you were a little kid. Well, they still got them. Right. They had trains. They had the weirdest stuff on the wall you'd ever imagine looking at. And it was just a cool atmosphere.
And the food was awesome.
Yeah.
I remember the food being great too. And and again, before BJ and Bill, I don't even think it was WRCC. I think it was when I was at 96 Super Q. Good God. That was my first. I think one of our Christmas parties was at the bubble room. That's when we had money, when there was big money being made in broadcasting. So yeah, I remember that for sure. Yeah.
Now,
awesome.
Well, I don't think you were there then, because I wasn't doing mornings. I was doing middays. And Kevin Pierce was the general manager at Oldies 95.
Right.
But in the very beginning, Kevin Pierce was general manager. And I remember because he lived on Sanibel Island. And one year we had our Christmas party at the bubble room. That was pretty awesome. Yeah,
no, I wasn't. You and I didn't cross paths in those days. It wasn't until later. So yeah, that must have been because Kevin Pierce went on to be the GM of the Wave, right? Down in Naples? No,
I don't think so. He may have, but I don't think he did.
I don't remember. So your memory is always better on those things than mine. So that's
he was on ABC 7. Did he ever work with your wife when he was the news guy? He was the evening news guy.
Wow. That's a good question. When my wife was at ABC 7, it was Jack Wheeler. There's another name. Boy, we're pulling all the names out of the hat today. We are pulling the Wayback Machine here for you people. And I apologize for those of you folks who are listening to this show and weren't in Southwest Florida.
Now you Cleveland and Indiana people.
These names mean nothing to you, but they're important to BJ and I. So we have fun with it. So that's okay. All right, let's take a break. Look at that. We've killed a half hour talking about Buc-ee's in the bubble room. That's awesome. All right.
How come I don't care what show we have or when we have it, somewhere along the line, food will be talked about.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. And I don't see that changing, and I don't want it to change. So, all right, folks, go refill your coffee or get a bite to eat, perhaps, and we will be right back. Welcome back. I'm Bill Stevens. That's BJ Odom. This is BJ and Bill, the podcast. And you can find us on our Facebook page, BJ and Bill Podcast. That's what you search for, BJ and Bill Podcast. And leave your memories of Southwest Florida there, or pictures, or whatever you choose to. I'm going to be posting some of my Buc-ee's pictures there from this past week of travels. So there you go. And by the way, while you're at it, wherever you happen to get this podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, where else did I say? Oh, we're on iHeartRadio too, I think.
We're on iHeart. We're on Podbean.
We're on all kinds of those. Wherever you get this podcast from, leave us that 5-star review. We will personally stop by your house to thank you.
We were talking about food.
Yes.
As much as we talk about AI has failed. At the drive-through window at McDonald's, they are pulling their AI little, can I take your order?
Experiment.
Yeah. Didn't work out so well at the drive-through window.
So how, was it just taking orders, or because I've seen, and again, I don't know if this is like a test, a pilot program, or they're really rolling it out, that there's like some McDonald's that they have like one person there and everything else is automated. It makes the burgers, it fills the soda pop, it does everything. So,
well, I know that,
crazy.
Like they got these things now that, does the sodas automatically.
Yes.
I mean, someone still kind of mans it, or I guess it just makes sodas all day long. I don't know, but.
Well, no, they push the button and it fills it. It puts ice in, it fills the soda. I don't think they've figured out how to put the lid on it yet, because the lids never fit right anyway. And then is that the last piece of it? The human has to hand you the bag out the window, or can they make a machine to do that? I don't know. It's crazy. Well,
I don't know, but I guess they were experimenting with AI, and I don't know really the whole thing. I don't know if it's going to try taking orders but AI was not working out. AI basically has been fired from McDonald's.
And somewhere the AI computer is going, I'm here to solve the freaking mysteries of the universe, and you got me working at McDonald's? I don't think so.
That's what happened. AI was sitting there everything going, I'm overqualified for this.
Overqualified.
Why am I working McDonald's? You know what my brain power is, and you got me working at McDonald's?
That's it. That's it exactly. So
I never thought I would say this, but I love AI.
I know you do. And we've talked about this before, and I love it too. So tell me what you're using it for these days.
I'm using it for all sorts of things. My other podcast, I interviewed someone in the medical field who was a social worker for organ transplants. So ask it to give me 10 good questions to ask boom, there they are.
Perfect. And they're good. They're good. And if you don't like it, or what I've done with the same kind of thing, it's like I'm interviewing somebody, or I'm writing a blog post about XYZ. Give me 5 bullet points that I can talk about with this topic. Bam, 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 bam. Oh, I love number 4. Give me more on that one. Bam, 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 bam. And it's just, okay, we're being replaced. We are being replaced by machines.
Well, X, which used to be known as Twitter.
Yeah.
You can only have so many, spaces or whatever for your
characters
post?
In your post, in your tweet. It used to be a tweet. Now is it an X? I don't know.
Well, you know what? That's the good of AI. AI knows what Dumbo BJ is talking about. Because I'll say, I'll go like, okay, this is what we talked about this week.
Right.
On BJ and Bill. Give me some Twitter tweets to promote the show.
Nice.
Boom, 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 boom. There they are, right there.
And are you posting them on Twitter or X? I must not be. All right, I'm going to make a crazy announcement. I guess I'm not following you on Twitter. I haven't seen those.
I never was anything to follow on Twitter. I never was. Right. I never twitted. I just wasn't. I'm sorry. I refuse to twit.
Good for you.
But
now
I've started because, I've got this little buddy of mine called AI. Mm-hmm. I'm twittering with BJ and Bill, the podcast.
Awesome.
Gift of Life, the organ transplant podcast.
Awesome.
Boy,
that
little baby does a lot of work for me.
Have you been followed by any bots yet?
Not, I might have. Who knows?
Well, you'll know because they're usually very pretty young ladies from some far eastern country, China, Korea, Japan, whatever. And they want to follow you. They follow you and they ask you to follow them back. And you go look at their profile and they have like 7 followers and they don't post anything. It's just a profile picture and a description that makes no sense. I don't have bots. I have porn stars that or I don't even know if they're stars, porn wannabes. The wannabes.
And they will follow me and say, will you follow me? And then you go look at their picture and they're all pictures of things that guys would maybe like to look at,
Right.
And you're going, yeah, that's they're going to follow you. Who knows what you'll try to give me candy or something. And my mama told me to never take candy from strangers. So I'm not going to follow you, but I don't want to be asked for you if I want candy.
Good for you. Good to know mom's lessons are still working their magic.
Like, BJ Odom, you want to get in the van? I've got candy.
Hey, little boy.
I know. I saw Candy's picture. She looked really good, but I'm not getting in the van. I know what happens when you get in the van. Your mommy will never see you again.
All right. I don't know how. Here's another something. I don't know how the hell we got off on that time. Oh, yeah. Being followed by bots on Twitter. Yeah. Yes, of course. So there you go. All right. Well, I'm happy to hear that you are posting BJ and Bill stuff on Twitter. I will find and follow your account. And cool. I'm kind of into that Bitcoin thing. I know it's crazy. I'm kind of into the Bitcoin thing. So I follow a lot of the big names in finance and investing and Bitcoin. And I just read their stuff. And I will admit that in the evening, like, making your bathroom stop before bedtime, scrolling Twitter, it's hilarious. There's a lot of funny stuff in there. These people are geniuses with
and
this
what's
stuff.
This Threads thing?
Well, Threads is the Facebook version of Twitter. And I don't know that it's doing anything at all. But, somebody over at Facebook said, well, we kind of got the picture thing covered with Facebook and Instagram. But, Twitter is still, they're kind of cool. Let's do that too. So they came up with Threads, which I don't know anybody using it, which doesn't mean a lot. I'm not big into that sort of thing anyway. But anyway.
Well, I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram.
Me too.
I'm on Snapchat that I never do anything with.
Snapchat? What is this, 1985?
Well, at least I have given up my MySpace.
Good.
I'm on Threads. I'm on X. Not that I do a whole lot on either one of those. I just started because my AI friend is helping me.
Right.
I'm on LinkedIn.
Me too.
And I have a TikTok account that I have never, ever, ever used, except for maybe watching stupid videos.
I same here. I have a TikTok account and I might have posted one or two things of just out walking around the neighborhood or something like that. I don't know.
I haven't even done that.
Whatever. It's not. It is a thing. I mean, it's not just people. It's not just the little kids dancing and doing crazy stunts and stuff like that. It's kind of a thing, but it's just not. It's never caught my attention. So yeah. Now I will admit that there will be the occasional, more than I like, afternoon where I get bored and I sit in front of the computer and I will just watch YouTube video after YouTube video after YouTube, and I will go down some crazy rabbit holes of politics and whatever. So yeah,
I wouldn't
recommend
any of that.
it.
Yeah, I don't do any of that. It's all just too far out there anymore.
It is. It's way out there. But
my wife, I don't think she really watches it. I mean, they're TikTok videos, but they end up on Facebook.
Yes.
And I will sit there during the day and watch television a little bit. I've really been into what is it? Storage wars. God, I want to open a restaurant. I mean, not a restaurant. I want to open a thrift shop now and just go to these auctions, and it looks like so much fun,
I binged that show a few years ago for a month at a time. Yeah, Storage Wars. Very cool.
I would lose my ass if I did it, but it's cool.
Anyway.
But yeah, but she'll sit there with her little phone and just one video after another, after another, after another, after another, after another, after another, after another. I'll go, how do you what? But I'm doing the same thing with this, Storage Wars. So
right.
I guess there's no difference. At least mine's like 21 minutes at a time. Hers is like about a minute at a time.
And they're putting advertising.
I get one episode in. She's watched 20 videos on Facebook.
And they're putting advertising in front of both of you.
Yep.
So
Well, no,
that's
you
the
know
whole
what?
point.
Now, every once in a while, but I watch it on my Hulu,
Okay.
and sometimes I can watch like 5 episodes. It doesn't give me like maybe one commercial at the beginning. I like that because then I get right to the meat of it right away.
So do you remember what's the coolest thing somebody's found in a storage bin somewhere?
I don't know.
All right, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I love that because they'll buy these storage things. It's like sight unseen. Well, they open the door, right? They open the door and you can see what's in front of you,
and that's
you
all.
Can't dig through any of it. And then you bid on it. And if you get the high bid, okay, congrats, it's yours. Now you can go and see what you found. And sometimes people find treasures, amazing stuff. And sometimes it's a garage space full of junk.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's
and the
cool.
sad thing is, if you go out and buy one of these things, I wouldn't doubt the rule is, or they wouldn't let you come back to the auction. Once you buy it, you get all that crap out of there.
Oh yeah.
You can't leave it in there.
You have to clean it out. You have to clean it out for sure.
Yeah. So that's where the rough part would come in.
Especially if it was all junk. Yeah. And then you got to hire somebody to clean it out and cart it away. Yeah, absolutely. But still, it's fun. That is cool. I mean, that's kind of the modern equivalent. My mother, when she was around, Antiques Roadshow on public television. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Antiques Roadshow. That was her show. Oh my God. Don't call my mom when Antiques Roadshow is on. She's not picking up the phone. She's glued to the TV set.
Now, my brother, he was into pickers. He kind of got me into that too.
Oh yeah. I know that one too. Yeah. I mean, there's a ton of those cool shows out there. I mean, and they're better than the real estate ones. It's like, we're going to fix up this house for $5 and, over the weekend. And it's going to go from, shack to mansion. Yeah, no, it's not. But thanks for trying. So anyway, there you go. Cool.
But, that's like, and, of course, they don't find any treasures. Maybe they would. I don't know. But, like we've had garage sales before.
Sure.
And have, like if I've got like let's say there was a time, and probably I was dumb to have done it, but like even when we moved from Fort Myers, I had cause I used to be a DJ that went out and played at clubs and weddings and stuff like that.
Right.
Well, now everything's on your computer, so it's so much easier.
Right.
But when this old guy was DJing, we were taking, the old turntables and the old records. And so we would have to carry in, we'd do a wedding reception. We'd carry like 12 crates of albums into the, the location where we were DJing, and had no wonder we all have back problems.
So when the bride would say, "Oh, I'd really like this song," and you're like, "Oh, yeah, I got that," and then you're fishing through 12 different crates full of albums to find one song on one record so that you can put it on the turntable. Yep.
Yeah, we're nowadays, all you got to do is type it in. If you don't have it, you go type it in and you go get it and you go, okay, I got it to play.
Yep.
DJs out there today, you have it so easy. Us old guys, man, we had to take crates of albums in there.
Here we are doing our old guy thing again on yet another topic. You don't know how lucky you got it, you kids. Get off my yard.
I had to take it up. It's a snow uphill, and then I had to take them back to the car uphill again. It's crazy.
So anyway, you had a garage sale, and you probably sold a ton of records that you would have rather still had, right?
Yeah, and I actually, I had a guy come in, and I think he said, I can't remember back then because it was right 5-6 years ago. Mm-hmm. Well, I'll take that. I'll take all these for $100 or something like that. And I said, you got it, $100 cash, get rid of all this stuff. That's what I'm trying to do anyway. But, there was probably an album or two that may have been in there because I'd collected records forever. Mm-hmm. Probably, everyone's who knows? He may have found that one where he goes, that stupid idiot. This thing's worth like $500. And I bought the whole damn crate. I bought them all. And, people do that. They really know what they're doing.
Yes. We had a guy on our show a couple of times in
John the Record Guy.
John the Record Guy. Thank you. I knew it was something simple like that. And he used to talk about that all the time, about finding the old ones that are worth something.
And if this has got the cover on it and it's the cover's in mint condition, you get this much. If you don't have the cover or the bad cover, that would take off like hundreds of dollars.
Right.
Yeah, he was always coming in and talking.
Right.
I think we talked to him every once in a while. I don't know how many times
we did. I actually bought an Elvis record once based on that, but the problem is there were so many there were so many of them, and they were reissued that the one I bought, I don't think it has any value. I mean, I only paid like $10 for it, but I still have it. But yeah, I have like literally 2 other albums that I'm hoping someday will be worth something. Yeah. So.
And baseball cards.
Yeah, baseball cards are good.
But
that's your son, right?
Condition.
That's your son's thing, right?
Yeah. But I wish, and I think I've told this story before. Growing up, I had baseball cards out the yin yang. And somewhere along the line, because my parents moved a few times, I moved. I don't know where they are, but somewhere they disappeared, and I have no idea. They might be in an attic in a 20 houses ago we sold. I don't know.
Somewhere in an attic in a farmhouse in Indiana somewhere.
Yep.
Okay. Huh.
Man, if somebody ever goes up in the attic and finds them, they're going to go, oh my God, I am rich.
I hear you. I was never into sports cards of any kind. Well, back then baseball cards was the only kind of cards. Nowadays they're football, hockey, everything. Never into baseball cards for some reason. Don't know why. Again, I'm not really a collector. I'm not really a collector of stuff.
Yeah, I've never been a collector of anything either.
Really? Yeah, I'm looking at the office behind you. I can see your picture and your guitar on the wall. Actually, it looks like a ukulele on the wall, and
it's a mandolin.
Mandolin, thank you. And I'm
my
sure
daughter
you play it really well.
I can't play it at all. I've told that story before. My wife was pregnant. We were trying to think up names. And I said, well, if it's a girl, let's call it a mandolin. Then I can put her on my knee and play her like a fiddle. And my wife goes, I love that name. Thus, a mandolin was born.
There you go. And how often does Dad remind her of that story?
Not very often anymore, but like if she has a new boyfriend that comes in, you see that right up there? That's my little mandolin. You better take care of her. I'm going to come picking for you.
Yes, Mr. Odom.
Then, of course, you see under the mandolin, under the Bubba's place.
Yep.
See what that is, don't you?
1969 Pontiac GTO.
Yep. That's for GTO.
Little GTO. Beach Boys.
Hello, your boss.
I never put that together. Is that literally why that is there? GTO, Gentry Thomas Odom?
You got it.
Oh, I've learned something new today. The day's not a total waste. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, good to look at that. You have both your kids and your own picture on the wall. I don't see the wife there.
Nope, I don't think she is. No.
I see teddy bears. I see lamps.
Oh, if you see teddy bears, then you see my wife.
I know.
Because those are not mine. Every once in a while, see, this is supposedly over there's my shack ball, my ball shack sign for me. But this is like supposedly my office. Because she has decorations all over the house.
We know.
And I go, this is like my office. But no, I look over here. It still has teddy bears. Look over here. There's still little Hummerines or Humbles or whatever.
Hummels, yeah.
Whatever the hell you call them.
I know.
Like, this is supposed to be my office.
How's that working for you, Dad?
I don't know. Not very well. And then I got this desk. And like, it's, like my computer, everything, my board,
right?
Everything, I do my voiceovers for and everything.
Right.
So I go, see this little space? This is mine. Then I come in here and find some crappy little, that's not mine. It shouldn't be on here. You got the whole house. It's just one little desk. That's all I want. That's all I need. Just don't put nothing on it.
But no, it's everywhere. Everywhere
get away from it.
You can't. No.
Everything.
Yep. I hear you. I know. And And that brings a whole nother discussion for another day, probably, because it's probably would take longer than the 10 minutes that we have. But it's like, what's going to happen when both BJ and spouse are gone? Are you going to have to tell your son and your daughter, it's like, okay, you got to clean this house out. Good luck.
Oh yeah, that's their job. They already.
Oh man, I'm just taking a snow shovel to it. And well, I kind of did that with my mother's place. So, shout out to mom again, twice today. But yeah, I had to do that too. And it was not fun. So
I don't know what they'll do. They'll have jobs.
They'll have the world's biggest garage sale is what they'll have.
But
every
also,
teddy bear known to man.
Also, they'll say, well, as soon as we get it emptied, cha-ching.
Yeah, we're selling it. You bet.
Yeah.
You bet. So sell it. Your daughter could take it. She could,
Yeah, she lives up this way. She lives right down the road.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. So rent it out, make an Airbnb out of it, something like that. That's cool.
I don't think you can in our neighborhood. We got one of those funny communities where you have to rent it like long term. You can't rent it.
Right.
But there is a lot of those in the area that I live in. And we looked at a few when we were looking at places, and my wife says, no way in hell.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because she says you're going to have a different neighbor. Yeah, because she goes, you're going to have a different neighbor every week.
Oh, right.
And they're going to be, they're going to be here to party and have a good time. So they're going to be playing music all night long.
All night long. Commodores. No, not all night long. Lionel Richie. No, I don't remember. Anyway, so you would... So just to finish that, you asked the real estate agent or something like, are any of the neighbors Airbnbs or something like that? Or did they tell you that or volunteer?
Oh, it's in the covenant, the HOA,
right. The docs, condo docs or whatever.
No short-term rentals.
Oh, so in other words, you picked this neighborhood because there was no short-term. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I got it.
They don't allow it.
Right. I have a friend in Venice, Florida, not Italy. Same thing. Bought like a townhouse, kind of like, not a townhouse, a villa like yours in a neighborhood with the idea of renting it, and then found out, oh no, it's 6 months minimum.
Yeah.
Because they were going to do it like monthly in season and make a killing, which is a nice investment if you can make it happen. But I mean, they ended up renting it on an annual basis anyway, so it worked out. But yeah, that's good. I wouldn't want to live next to an Airbnb. I wouldn't want to live in a neighborhood like you said, where they're Airbnbs, because it's going to be exactly what you said. It's going to be party all, especially for you there by Disney.
Yeah.
By Disney World and all that.
And there are some neighborhoods that's like 90%, 99, like they'll let you buy in there, but maybe, one out of every 20 units, maybe one out of every 100 units is someone that actually
lives there.
Because we looked in this one community, when we were first looking of a place to, and it was like, had a beautiful pool, had a lazy river,
Ooh, cool.
And it had a clubhouse that had like anything you could ever imagine in it.
Right.
But every one of them pretty much was
Airbnb.
Yeah, vacation rental.
How did you find that out?
I mean, you could tell it was pretty much, you could tell.
Okay.
I mean, it didn't take too long to figure it out.
Look up and down the street and every license plate is from a different state.
Yeah. It wasn't difficult to figure out. But no, they let you know that up front too. And they were saying, and if you wanted to, they said a lot of people buy these and use them as, rentals.
That, and I told you, I ended up, several, hours a week are spent scrolling YouTube videos and stuff like that. And I don't watch cat videos. I watch investment stuff and financial stuff and all that, because I'm interested. And I see so many videos from real estate gurus saying that Airbnb thing is losing momentum. And there have been so many homes bought to be Airbnbs. And so many communities are either cracking down on it or setting limitations. Like you said, it can only be a long-term rental or whatever, that a lot of these Airbnbs are going to be sold, and it's going to really have a big influence on the real estate markets, especially here in Florida. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that shakes out over the next year or so. So anyway, just saying, for all of you folks out there with your Airbnbs and your rentals and stuff,
I just think
make money while you can.
We got all the way through the show and we didn't have to talk about what I don't want to talk about.
Would you want to talk about it?
I thought I said I didn't want to talk about it.
You don't want to talk about it. All right. So then we will not talk about the Florida Panthers about to get their ass kicked by the Edmonton Oilers in the NHL Finals.
And I think they're going to do that. I really do. We kind of communicated last night a little bit via text, as game 6 was being played.
Yes, we did.
And my prediction was if they do not win this game, there's no way. Well, I mean, there is a way.
Right.
And maybe I'll be proven. Let's just say this. I hope I am proven wrong. And the next time that we get together, I can say, I am proud to say that I was proven wrong.
I agree. I hear you. I agree with you. I hope you are proven wrong. And you and I were both, like you said, texting back and forth during game 6, which was last night as we record this podcast. And we were both saying, boy, the Cats look like, the Panthers they just look like spoiled milk. They just look like they've been past their expiration date.
Now, this is going to be my philosophy. I'm not a sports, commentator or anything. In this whole playoff season,
right?
They've been forechecking. They've been playing, because that's what hockey is. I mean, they've been playing hard and they've been playing rough.
Sure.
And I don't know if they're just to the point where they're too sore and too tired to do anything else. But it's like, and maybe there is a way that, they've been figured out how they're playing. And so, Ontario, the Oilers, the Edmonton Oilers have figured it out and they're playing a different type of game and beating them. But they're not the same team that I've watched through these playoffs. They're like.
And what do you think about the goalie for the Panthers, Bobrovsky? He was unbeatable in the first rounds of the NHL playoffs, and now he's looking average at best now.
And is it he's all worn out and beat up?
Good question. But I mean, the other teams playing the same game you are they not worn out and beat up too? I mean, I don't have an answer for that. It's a rhetorical question, but I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's like even basketball or any sport. When you get to the finals, certain players are just tired, wore out, and beat up.
Yeah. No, you see that, and you hear that mostly in football. It's like just get to the playoffs healthy. That's all you got to do, because then So I agree. So anyway, folks, when you hear this podcast drop on Wednesday, you'll already have the answer to the question whether BJ and Bill were disappointed or their prediction came true or whatever. But so I don't know.
I don't even know if I'll watch. It all depends on if my son watches, because that's where I'll be.
Oh, that's right. You'll be in Fort Myers. I will be home alone here in Blue Ridge at the undisclosed location, and I will be watching it, and I will probably be shouting at the TV. So there'll have to be maybe even a rare adult beverage for me.
Don't be too grumpy and bear-like, because that may attract the bears.
It might.
And you don't want to do that.
Absolutely, positively not. Because they're big and scary and they don't care that you're, whatever. Yeah.
You know what? Can't believe you left your nuggets out in the car.
I know. I'm
going to get them. You might go out there. The window might be broken. There might be a big bear going, nuggets.
Go get more of these.
Go get them Buc-ee nuggets for the bear.
I thought about that. Believe it or not, I thought we're out of time, but I will say I thought about that I left them. Now they're wrapped up, they're closed up and all that. And it's not like it's like if I left a burger or a steak, yes, I would worry about it because it smells like meat. So I would imagine that would bring critters. Buc-ee nuggets, they smell like what? Sugar? They don't really.
They might smell like honey. All that sugar.
Oh, there's that. Yeah.
Bears like it sweet.
Wow. I got to run out there. All right, everybody, we got to go. Well, we got to go anyway. So that's awesome. So anyway, have fun on your drive down to Fort Myers. Tell the boss I said hi. And
I will do that.
Then we will be back again next week, I think. Any last minute thoughts? You're good.
I'm good. Like I said, I'm going to get out here first thing tomorrow morning and go down and see the boy.
See the boy. Awesome. And the grandkids. Awesome.
Yep.
Good for you,
All that.
Grandpa.
And we'll do this again next week.
We will. So everybody go out there, make it a great week, no matter what hockey team you happen to be rooting for.
For all of our Canadian fans.
All of our Canadian friends out there. We love you. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you then. But until then, just up to BJ Odom to say,
see ya.